Hello, everyone, and welcome to our English learning podcast. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Jack. We're so happy you're here with us today. In today's episode, we're going to talk about something really fun, tour.
That's right. A tour is something that many people do when they visit a new place, right, Jack?
Exactly. When you go on a tour, you get to see new things, learn about them, and sometimes even hear interesting stories. Tours are a great way to explore a city, a museum, or a famous landmark.
Absolutely. Tour can be guided or self-guided. A guided tour means someone is with you the whole time, telling you about the places you visit. A self-guided tour, on the other hand, is when you explore on your own, often using a map or an audio guide.
Right, and when you take a guided tour, you often have a tour guide. A tour guide is a person who knows a lot about the place you're visiting. They tell you important facts, share stories, and answer questions. Sometimes, they even wear a special badge or hold up a sign so you can find them easily.
That's a good point. Tour guides are experts on the place, and they make the experience much more interesting. Have you ever been on a guided tour, Jack?
Yes, I have. I went on a walking tour in a very old city once, and it was so interesting. The guide told us about the history of the city, its old buildings, and how people lived there many years ago. It made the whole place come alive.
That sounds amazing. I think tours are so much fun because they help us understand the history and culture of a place. It's like stepping into the past. I've been on a few tours myself. I remember going on a food tour in a new city. We tried different local dishes, and the guide explained the history of the food and how it's connected to the culture.
Yum! That sounds like a delicious tour. So, you're saying there are different types of tour, right? For example, food tour, walking tour, and even bike tour.
Exactly. There are so many different types. You can go on a nature tour if you want to see parks, forests, or wildlife. Or you could go on an art tour where you visit galleries or see public art in the streets. There are also adventure tours, like hiking or even ziplining.
Oh yes, and don't forget about bus tour. Those are perfect if you want to see many different places in a short amount of time. You sit in a bus and travel around, and the guide tells you about the places you pass. It's a very relaxing way to enjoy a tour, especially if you're tired or it's too hot outside.
I love bus tour. They're great for getting an overview of a city. But I think my favorite kind of tour is a walking tour. It gives you a chance to explore slowly, and you get to see all the little details you might miss if you were driving by in a bus.
I agree. Walking tour make you feel like you're part of the city? You can stop whenever you want, take pictures, and even ask the guide questions about the places you see.
Exactly, and it's not just about the places you visit. It's also about the experience of being there. When you walk, you can hear the sounds, smell the food in the air, and feel the atmosphere of the city or town.
Yeah, it's a full experience, and tours don't just happen in cities or countries you don't know. Sometimes, people take tours in their own cities to learn more about where they live. Have you ever done that, Lisa?
I have. I actually took a tour of my own city last year. I've lived here for a long time, but I learned so many new things about the history of the place and the important events that happened. It was really interesting, even though I already knew the area well.
That's a great point. Sometimes we don't know much about the places we live in. A tour can help us discover new things and see them in a different way. I think everyone should try a tour, whether it's in a new city or in their own town.
I agree. Tours are a fantastic way to learn more, not just about places, but also about ourselves. When you learn new things, you grow, and it can be very exciting.
Definitely. It's like opening a book and reading a new story. Tours help you discover new chapters in life. But of course, it's not just about learning new things. It's also about having fun, right?
For sure, whether it's a walking tour in a park a bike tour through the city, or even a food tour, the fun part is experiencing everything firsthand. You get to enjoy the sights, sounds, and tastes in real life. It's much more exciting than just reading about it in a book or watching it on TV.
Absolutely. And another fun thing about tour is meeting people. You might be with other tourists and you can share experiences and stories. It's a great way to make new friends or even practice English.
That's true. Being on a tour often means you're with people from different parts of the world. You can practice your English by talking to them and learning about their experiences, too.
And don't forget about the fun souvenirs you can buy on tour. Maybe you'll find something special to remember your experience, like a small gift or a postcard from the place you visited.
That's a nice touch. Souvenirs are a great way to keep the memories of your tour. But of course, the most important part is the memories you make while you're there.
Exactly. So, as you can see, tours are not just about visiting new places. They're about learning, exploring, and having a lot of fun along the way.